How to be happy. So everybody wants to be happy in life. The thing to realize is that we're all part of the big picture. There was a psychologist that said, his name was Abraham Maslow, and there were a lot of psychologists that they studied unhealthy people. Like Freud, he said that if you study unhealthy people, well, we'll all have a little bit of that so we can learn a little bit for everyone else. But Abraham Maslow was a lot smarter than Freud. And he said, actually, why don't we study successful people, healthy people, people that are what he called self-actualized. They made a life for themselves, and let's learn from them. And so what Abraham Maslow became famous for, even though he wrote many things, was he created what's called basically a hierarchy of needs. And what he said was a very important point, but I just want to focus on one point right now. One of the very primary needs that a human being has, and a lot of people are lacking today, is the need to belong. We are what's called in Hebrew, Adam Hu Medini. A person is a social creature. And so once you understand who you belong to, there was a book that was written. This guy unfortunately had depression. You go to the doctor, you give him a pill, so he was better for 3 months, and then he'd get depressed again. So he was an but an enterprising guy. He went around the entire world to figure out how to cure depression. He went to the biggest expert all over the world, and he wrote a book, and the title of the book is called Lost Connections. And one of the things that he described, I don't know if this was something that he personally participated in or was another group, a psychiatrist had a bunch of patients and everybody's depressed. So he says, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut to the back of the alley. I don't know where his office was. We're coming all together Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. We're going to clean up the alley. We're going to plant flowers. So suddenly 10 people come and they clean it up and they plant flowers. He says, what happened is they formed a group. People are meant to be in groups. When we're in groups, we feel good together. And this is the big problem in the Western world, is that I remember when I finally finished kind of school and teaching and this and that, I went into the Western world, I realized this is the loneliest society that man has ever created. And in fact, it's very interesting. There was an article in the New York Times. It was called Crossing the Hamish Line. What was the article? The article was that basically the more money people get, what do? They buy more privacy. So now I can have a home which is further from the other people. If I'm really rich, I can have a home in an island. So what do? I've just isolated myself. I put myself into a prison. And it's the worst thing for a human being to do. I remember a guy who was very, very wealthy, but he is a part of the Jewish community. So he came, and I came to his vacation house. Anybody should only have a house like he had his vacation house. But I saw a whole bunch of kids playing there. They invited, in other words, when you're part of, and this is why it's so important to be a religious person, even if you're, certainly a religious Jew, but even if it's a religion another, but when a person is part of a community, obviously a healthy community, a community of love, not a community of hate, but when a person is part of a community, that's an automatic connection, and that connection is super, super important. And so this is something that we have to understand, that we all automatically belong to God. And if you just understand this, you'll always be happy. Why? Because there is one Father of everyone and everything. God. He's the creator of everyone and everything, past, present, and future. And each one of us is his children. And we're an only child to him. We're all special. Every child to their parent is special. And we all have a special role in this world. And once you get that, you have a sense of belonging and a sense of connection with, of course, your Father in heaven and with every human being. And almost equally, if not more important, with yourself, that you know that you too matter, that you have a purpose in this world, and we're all a beautiful place.